2018 was a really interesting year, not just for Late Night Gaming, but myself as well. I figured I would do an end of the year look back at my channel and my personal life as a whole, the lessons I learned, the experiences I've had, in the hopes that I can be more open with my viewers, and hopefully even learn more about myself by simply putting things into words. 2018 was a hard year for me personally, but I'm quite happy that it was such a hard year. I know it's weird to say that, but I did need it. As a person, I have a lot of insecurities and personal demons that manifest in rather unhealthy behaviors, which I'm sure followers of me on Twitter see from time to time. I want to talk about them, why some of these issues made 2018 so hard, and what I learned about myself nearing the end of the year that I feel has helped me conquer them to an extent. I'll bounce around from thing to thing, okay? So all these things may seem disconnected at first, but it will all come together, and I need you to just follow me. After being bullied for so many years as a kid, I have an insecure need to be validated. I don't have enough faith in my own opinions, and I feel as if my opinion can't truly be correct until I make sure others see that it's correct. Then I can truly enjoy my opinion. You can imagine why this is unhealthy. Well, I've toned down the aggression in my videos, and I may come across as a bit more chill than I suggest. On Twitter, I have a nasty habit of getting into debates. They were bad. They were multi-threaded, and usually consisted of me just being an ass to people I disagreed with. My insecurities would get really bad during times of stress, and it's a bit silly that I never actually stopped to say, slow down for a second. Do you believe this? If so, why do you need to seek the validation of others? You believe this. The end. You don't need validation for a subjective opinion that you in fact do believe. Part of the reason I feel like I never did have that moment of self-confidence is another unhealthy behavior I had that helped me escape introspection. I've been bouncing from relationship to relationship since high school. When I wasn't with someone, it was scary because it meant I had to come face to face with just how many personal issues I had. So how do I avoid confronting my personal demons? Distract myself by diverting all emotional effort into a partner. I had a bad habit of falling for people that were quite damaged or struggled in their own ways. I had a desire to save them and fix them, which is quite stupid because we can only push people towards working through their problems. Did I seek out fixing other people in some weird subconscious way to make up for the fact that I wasn't actually fixing my own issues? Who knows? Probably. The brain works in mysterious ways. I had a bad breakup at the beginning of the year with someone I had been dating for a very long time. It was the first time I was truly alone in quite literally years, and suddenly I could hear myself. I recognized the issue that I needed to be validated, and I really didn't have a lot of confidence in myself. My inability to just be confident in my opinion without anyone else giving me the thumbs up. I also began to realize how truly gross my body had become. I hadn't been taking care of myself since easily 2015. I had gained close to 35 pounds, putting me at almost 229, which isn't good for somebody over 6 feet tall. I felt physically exhausted all the time. I felt anxious and scared because I was alone, something I'm not quite used to, and being able to see with clarity all the issues I have without an emotional distraction, it was too much. I installed a ton of dating apps on my phone and hooked up with the first person I could. Right off the bat, you can see why this wasn't gonna work. I was in it for the wrong reasons. I was trying to hide from myself and the work that clearly had to be done on my emotional state. This person was also quite damaged, and over the course of our 3-month relationship, her personal demons and mine clashed. It was an angry and emotionally charged 3 months, and it ended in disaster for both of us. Now thankfully here, both of us are doing okay. But at the time, I couldn't handle it. I was bullied my entire school life all the way up into 8th grade when I tried to kill myself. Then I was hospitalized, and when I got out, I suppressed a lot of my emotions and a lot of my personal insecurities by seeking out relationships, and ever since then, I have been consistently emotionally distracted. I have refused to address a lot of the deep-rooted personal insecurities that I have. And finally, this year, was the first time I was forced to sit down and have a long discussion with myself about all these problems. I felt betrayed, lost, lonely, and dead inside. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This September was the first time I felt that close to doing it. I was alone, gross, emotionally a mess, and I needed to escape myself. I gave myself a solid 3 weeks of self-destruction and self-pity before finally deciding that, you know what? Things had to change. This was no way to live. I began seeking a professional nutritionist who gave me a workout routine and diet. I stopped pursuing a relationship that I was trying to form with a new person because I had to first overcome my weird personal issues before committing myself to a relationship. I began to reach out to old friends from my childhood that I distanced myself from since the day I attempted suicide in 8th grade. And a weird cough that began to manifest itself from this summer, I finally got checked out and it turned out that I had asthma. As I write this, I am now 30 pounds lighter than I was. I've slimmed down and bulked up so much that I actually need to go clothes shopping for better fitting clothes. My workout sessions, which usually last 2.5 hours, provide me with a lot of time to think, and I've done a lot of meditating on what makes my brain tick the way it does and why I get into so many arguments on Twitter. For professional stalkers, you'll probably notice an attitude change during the months of October, November, and December for me. And there's a reason why. I no longer feel like I need to seek validation for my opinions. We all value different things for our personal reasons, and my life experiences are mine. I don't need to get into long, huge Twitter debates anymore because I'm quite confident in the opinions that I hold, and I understand that they're entirely subjective, just like the opinions that other people hold are entirely subjective for them as well. At the end of 2018, things were going pretty well. I was happier, healthier, stronger. I was getting back into the swing of YouTube since I was in a happy place. You'll probably actually notice I was uploading a lot more consistently nearing the end. And then, my mother had a stroke. You see, I have a strong relationship with my mom. I love her quite a lot. She's been there for me my whole life. She supported me through some of my darkest periods. To this day, I have the occasional stress dream about something happening to her. And now it was happening for real. She couldn't talk to me. She couldn't explain what was wrong. She couldn't move the right side of her body. And it was terrifying. The first 24 hours of her stroke were a real nightmare for me. My mom was my superhero, and now I was being confronted with her mortality. Thankfully, she's doing quite well as I write this. Weeks later, no permanent damage, and the doctors are actually expecting her to make a full recovery, to the point that she can probably teach again if she wants once the physical therapy is over during the summer. I feel like, in retrospect, the timing of her stroke was quite interesting. I'm not sure how I would have handled it if it had happened earlier in that year, but because of how I felt emotionally when her stroke did happen, I was able to stand by her and be strong. For the first time in my life, I feel quite confident with myself. 2018 kicked my ass with a series of life lessons, and I'm happy it did. Because the bruises are now healing, and I've had a lot to think about and realize about myself. In 2019, my goals are to continue this course of making YouTube videos, being positive and confident, as well as try to establish a stronger connection with my subscribers. I want to create a Discord channel this year, maybe even make shirts, host game nights, start up my podcast again. I'm still hammering out the details in my brain. Make a list of goals that are achievable. When I share these kinds of stories or personal thoughts, it's not really for drama or sympathy points. As I said, I have a lot of anxieties, so I obsessively read my comments section. When I put myself out there and you guys give me feedback, I really value the feedback. It is genuine advice that I can take to heart. Even when I make mistakes and you guys give me the criticism I need, and I do get aggressive in defending myself, a couple days later, after I fully digested it, I end up feeling quite bad, and I apply the criticisms that you gave me and try to make a conscious effort to better myself. In small ways, the comments and the things/life lessons and advice that you all give me that you all gave me over the course of 2018 helped push me to the happy place that I'm in now. And I can't wait to see what this year has in store for me. Here's to a fantastic 2019, and I'll see you guys on the next video.